Actually, it's good evening or good afternoon, depending on what time you're watching this. But today, no matter what, well, maybe not. If you're overseas, it might be different. But today in Michigan, it is Wednesday, April 21st. And we do have a birthday today. Today is Beverly Saunders' birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Beverly. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Doug and Joan over at Joan's Pointed Plate. I think it's their 31st anniversary. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. 31 years. Very good. She's had pictures on Facebook of them when they were dating. They look so young. They look so young. Unlike Jim and I, Jim and I were really young looking. I met Jim in high school. I was with my girlfriend, Sue, and we were walking down the hallway. We were skipping a class, and Jim was a hall guard, and he stopped us both, and he wanted to date one of us, and he started dating Sue, and we got into a childish fight, as only girls do, and I bet her that I could take Jim away from him, and I did, and here we are, 54 years later? Yep, 54. I met him in January of 67. 54 years. It's just, sometimes I just look at myself in the mirror and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're old. It's been a long time. And then when I look at pictures, because my kids are planning a 50th anniversary party for us, and so I'm trying to get my pictures together that they can pass around so people can laugh at me. So anyway, I've been going through my pictures and just to see Jim and I so young, Jim without a beard, Jim just being so baby-faced. Me too, for that matter. But we had a lot of good times. We had a lot of good times growing up. We did. We grew up together. We really did. When Jim and I got married, Jim was 6 days out of the service and he didn't have a job. And I was working part-time at a fruit market, making like $1.75 an hour, working like 20 hours a week, going to college. I was going to college full-time. And you know what? Back then, why did our parents let us get married? Not that they could have stopped us, I guess. We could have eloped. But we had an upper flat, and we had a card table that we got as a shower gift as our kitchen table. We bought a stove and refrigerator for like $100 for both of them. And we used the furniture that was in Jim's mother's basement. With our wedding money, we bought a bed. We had TV stands as our nightstands, and we had the lamps that Jim made in 7th grade shop, and the TV that I got for my 16th birthday. We had nothing. But you know what? Over the years, even though I've done terrible with money, but we've never lacked for anything that we ever wanted. I mean, when we wanted something, church, which was our theme, and we got a lot of stuff. We were in a lot of debt, and one thing I learned is how to rob Peter to pay Paul, because I did that through my whole married life. Thankfully, I don't have to do that anymore, but it was like my home economics teacher would have been rolling over, thinking, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Did you not learn anything? Remember, I don't know if you remember this, but Ira took a accounting class, and they gave us tiny little fake checkbooks to teach us how to write a check. And it seems so basic and so easy, but I don't know. It's things like it nowadays. I don't know what that. I really think that there should be a required course at the end of the school year, teaching people how to just live nowadays. It's just how to balance a checkbook, how to apply for a loan, how to get a job, all just life skills. They should have a life skills course. Maybe they do, but I just know in my senior class, senior year, we had to take a civics class, and we had to take a home economics class. And what else did we have to take? I know there was another required one before you could graduate. But it didn't have anything to do with learning how to live. I know that. But, I don't know. It's just, sometimes it's nice to look back at all the things I've accomplished and failed at in my life, because, You get to be my age and you've had failures in your life. You get to be any age and you have had failures in your life. But it's how you overcome those failures and how you learn from them that really makes the difference. And it took me a long time, many years to learn how to handle money better. Not that I do it that well now, but we were able to retire and still live a lifestyle that we're comfortable with, and that's really all that matters. And I've told my kids, you know, you can have what's left because I'm not going to scrimp and save just to make sure that you have an inheritance, which is probably selfish on my part, but no. That's when I see things like, there was something we were watching, one of our morning shows we were watching, Jim and I, like a local Regis and Kelly type of thing. Oh, Regis and Kelly, oh my gosh, that's so long ago. I stopped watching when Regis left because I never felt that Kelly Ripa appreciated Regis for everything he did for her career. And I really do believe that if he wouldn't have taken her on that show, she wouldn't be as rich as she is now, because he opened up a lot of opportunities. And just from what I can see from the outside looking in, I don't think that she appreciated that very much. I could be wrong. I'm, you know, like, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but but as soon as Regis was gone, Sandy was gone, I stopped watching it. But anyway, we were watching one of the morning shows, and now I forgot what I was talking about. Get used to it, because the older I get, the more this is going to happen. We're watching the morning show. It'll come back to me. Anyway, Denise and I didn't walk this morning. We had already planned last night that we weren't going to walk because we were supposed to get snow. We got maybe an inch, but it's all melted by now. But it was like there was a lot of black ice, and there were a lot of major accidents this morning on the freeways. And two of the overpasses, there was like a giant truck jackknifed, and there was like 20 or 25 cars. Thankfully, nobody got killed. That's the good thing. But there was a lot of property damage with all of those cars. There really were. But I know, I keep thinking, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? It's like on TV, you can pause it and then think for a minute, and then you can rewind it, which I can do that. And you know what? Before this video is over, if it doesn't come back to me, I'm going back to figure out what I was talking about, because it's driving me crazy now. Because Jim and I were together a long time. I know I was talking about that. I know that we were watching a morning show, like a local morning show. I know I was talking about that. I can't think of anything that was on there that was such importance that I'm straining my brain trying to remember what it was. And I can hear all of you yelling, "No, Sandy, you were talking about," but that's all I hear. I don't hear the rest of that. So anyway, Denise and I didn't walk this morning. And then I did get an email from Best Buy that my dishwasher people were going to come between 12 and 2. And I thought, well, I'm always at the tail end of that, so I'm going to hurry up and do a load of dishes from the dishwasher and run the dishwasher. The dishwasher got done at noon. I unloaded it, and then just took the last dish in the cupboard, and there was a knock on the door, and it was the people putting in my dishwasher, and they came at 12:10. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked that they came that quick. And they were here like for maybe 20, 25 minutes. Jim and Jimmy would have taken longer. So, only because Jim would have wanted to do it one way, Jimmy would have wanted to do it the other way, then they would have argued back and forth, as only a father and son would do. And then Jim would finally admit that Jimmy was right because, no, whatever. Still trying to think. You know what? I'm pausing this video now because this is driving me crazy. This is what I do like, the fact that I can do this. I told you that I had a head injury when I was younger. My mother always said don't ride 2 on a bike, so she never said anything about 3 on a bike, so I rode 3 on a bike, and we were trying to go, I was on the handlebars, and she was trying to go up the curb. You know how you pull the bike up to go up the curb? Well, she pulled the bike up too much, and the bike flipped, and I went and I hit my head on the curb, and I was knocked out. I don't know for how long. Long enough that they ran home and got my mother, who ran down the street to get my Uncle Leonard, who came to where I was to pick me up and carry me home, which I have no memory of any of this. And I just remember waking up in my bed. And I probably was out probably a good 5 minutes, if at least 5 minutes. And so then even then, I remember this from the child when he said, she might have some problems when she gets older. And then the more I researched it as I got older, which, stay off the internet. If you're me, stay off the internet. But it did say that I have a tendency to have Alzheimer's. My grandmother had Alzheimer's, which was always really sad because my mother and I would go and visit my grandmother all the time. And my grandmother would always tell my mother's name is June. She'd say, you know what? Would you please tell June what a rotten daughter she is? She never comes to see me and blah, blah, blah and all that. She's always, and my mother would just say, I'm going to let her know, Mom. Don't worry. I'm going to let her know. And we get in the car and my mother would cry. I don't want to be that person. So I play as many memory games as I can play. I try to memorize things all the time. I think that's why I'm such a voracious reader. I want to constantly keep my brain active. And so things like little small, and I know as you get older you kind of forget things along the way anyhow, but it does bother me because in the back of my mind I always think, what if I have this? Because Johnny Crawford, my favorite from Rifleman, he has Alzheimer's now. And it's like you see all of these people. And then Anthony Hopkins has a new movie out called The Father, and it's about a father that's dealing with the early stages of Alzheimer's. And my father-in-law had Alzheimer's too, and it's just a sad thing to see the progression in that, and to the point that they're physically here but they're not here, type of thing. It's hard, and I don't want that to happen to me. And so that's my worry. My weight is the least of my worries. If I worry about, I know I always go on and on about my weight, but losing my memory bothers me the most. But I didn't forget that I'm going to stop the video to see what I was talking about, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, but it was bugging me. It really was bugging me. Before I forget what it was again, we were watching one of the morning shows this morning, and they were talking about this one father that had saved like $30,000 because he wanted to have his daughter have the best wedding ever, the best wedding ever. And so she ended up, she eloped. She didn't invite her family. She didn't, she just, wherever she went, she eloped and that was it. And she had always known that her father had put money aside for her wedding. And so when she got back from the elopement, she told her dad that she wanted the $30,000 for a down payment on a house. And her dad used the money to go and buy a new car. And the daughter was really upset because she said that was her money because it was for her wedding. And then the father said that it was his money because he's the one that saved it for her wedding, but she chose not to have a wedding reception. So it was his money to spend. And Jim and I both, maybe it's because of our age, but Jim and I both agreed with the father. That's why, I have a problem sometimes with with the money issues. I always have a problem with money issues, I guess. Is like if you have money that you set aside for your kids, let's say for college, and you put it aside, but not like in a special state-run thing where, like that is for your kids. Like you have your own little savings account that you're putting aside for your kids for college. If something comes up and you need that money for something else, that's your money. It's the way I feel. And you should spend it the way you want to spend it. And if you have the money to help your children with college, that's even better. That really is even better. But maybe some of his reasoning was spiteful because he wasn't invited. I don't know. He never said that. But I just felt that was his money, not the daughter's money. That's the way I felt. So anyway, I just think that if you have money left over, you give it to your kids. If not, you enjoyed your life. I'll be right back. Well, I had to stop for a minute because I had to help Cindy pack up all of her stuff because the landlord's done at her house, and so she's moving back home. So I had her here all day. I had Alyssa after school too, so it was nice to see them both. But anyway, I'm going to end the video now. Like I said, I'm really proud of the progress I've made so far. Like I always tell you, I'm a work in progress. But that doesn't mean I can't be a masterpiece at the same time because I'm really proud of my accomplishments. Like I said, I've had a lot of failures in my life, but I've had a lot of successes, and I've learned from my mistakes. I've learned a valuable lesson the last couple weeks that I'm not ready to do maintenance yet. So work on losing the weight a little bit longer. That's my plan. So I'm going to leave a little chick cartoon in honor of Doug and Joan's anniversary. Little chicken cartoon that I have. I like to put the little cartoons on the end. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, share if you think somebody might like to see it. As always, stay safe, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.